Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. When this international break is over, the club season will be entering the home straight and honours will be decided. Manchester City, despite their strictly indifferent form, remain the bookmakers' favourites to win the FA Cup, while Arsenal and Aston Villa are considered relative outsiders when it comes to raising the Champions League trophy in Munich on May 31st. And of course, the only uncertainty about the destination of the Premier League title is when Liverpool win the title, not if. Similarly, it would seem the destination of the top individual honours in English football is also a simple formality. Mohamed Salah is the top scorer and top assist provider in the Premier League's best team. His numbers are great. His hopes of collecting the 2025 Ballon d'Or were probably extinguished by PSG, but he seems a shoo-in for the domestic accolades. But when members of the Football Writers Association were originally asked to vote for the Footballer of the Year, the English game's oldest individual award, first won by Sir Stanley Matthews in 1948, they were asked to consider who by precept and example had been the best player. And as sensational as Salah has been, that is why I am sorely tempted to vote for Bruno Guimaraes at the end of this season. He has not been the most outstanding performer in English club football this season. He has probably not been the most outstanding performer for Newcastle United this season. But the way he led Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final last Sunday, and the way he spoke after the match, truly reflected a commitment to the supporters. It truly reflected a love of the community that gives him so much love. Tearfully, he spoke about it being the best day of his life, about wanting to be remembered as Alan Shearer is remembered after he left the club, about Newcastle being his second home. He continued in the same vein with subsequent messages on social media. Look, Guimaraes could yet end up making a big money move this summer, and his words might not carry the same weight of importance. We all know how football works, but last Sunday, he showed a true understanding of who makes clubs great. The fans, not the owners. And the captain showed true camaraderie when sharing trophy-hoisting privileges with former captain Kieran Trippier and Jamal Lascelles, the club captain who has been out for a year with a serious knee injury. This was only the Carabao Cup, don't forget. And for those with no vested emotion in the club, perhaps the scenes at the end of the win over Liverpool might have seemed a bit much. But if anyone had any of those thoughts, they were soon banished by the words and deeds of Bruno, a Brazilian who articulated and exemplified everything that is special about the relationship between footballers and fans. And while he has no chance of being named as the Footballer of the Year, he would be a deserving winner. It's understandable for Liverpool fans to be nervous when they see the lack of progress in public over Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold's contract talks. As great as this season is proving to be for Liverpool, there is real concern three of their best players could leave on freeze this summer. Van Dijk added to the uncertainty when the Liverpool skipper said he has no idea if he will still be at Anfield next season after the Champions League defeat to Paris Saint-Germain. But supporters only need to look at Liverpool's appointment of Arne Slot for reassurance that the club can get big decisions right. There was real anxiety among Copites in January when Jurgen Klopp announced he would be leaving Anfield at the end of the season. He had crafted Liverpool in his own image during his 9 success-filled years, and the question for owners Fenway Sports Group, FSG, was how to replace the irreplaceable. Xabi Alonso was the obvious choice and ticked all the boxes. He understood Liverpool inside out, was loved by the fans, was young, and most crucially, was a winner. The Basque's double success with Bayer Leverkusen made him the manager that not just Liverpool, but Bayern Munich wanted before he ruled himself out. This put Liverpool back to square one, and while all the outside noise was about Ruben Amorim, who the Reds felt was too young and too wedded to a back three, and Roberto De Zerbi, they produced Slot like a rabbit out of a hat. Armed with all the data analysis, which is the envy of every geek, Liverpool identified Slot as someone who could succeed with the squad already assembled at Anfield. He had the right temperament, philosophy, age at 45, and was a winner at Feyenoord. Erik ten Hag had blackened the name of Dutch coaches in England, but Slot and his compatriot are like chalk and cheese. Although Feyenoord are one of Holland's big three, they lag behind Ajax and must punch above their weight to win the Eredivisie. Slot duly did this, guiding Feyenoord to the inaugural Europa Conference League final in 2022, the Eredivisie title in 2023, and the Dutch Cup in 2024 before he moved to Liverpool. Liverpool were never going to get another Klopp because he and his style are unique, but they liked how Slot wanted his team to dominate possession in order to control a game. He's not high maintenance like Klopp, and while the German had an opinion on everything and didn't mind sharing it, Slot is much less controversial. The fire burns within him, as his outburst at referee Michael Oliver after the Merseyside derby shows, but mostly he is calm and controlled on the touchline. Liverpool fans expected third place at best, and no one, not even the most rabid of Reds, expected them to walk the Premier League. Don't forget, this will only be Liverpool's second title in 35 years, and it is all down to Slot. So Liverpool fans must have faith that FSG can get the big calls right. Liverpool could have the next Sergio Busquets on their hands, with 20-year-old prospect Stefan Bajcetic earning comparisons to the Barcelona legend during his loan spell at Las Palmas. Bajcetic only joined Las Palmas in the January transfer window after a disappointing stint at Red Bull Salzburg, but the midfielder has impressed in his 7 La Liga appearances so far. Bajcetic broke into Liverpool's first team as a teenager in 2022, but several serious injury problems derailed his progress, and a loan move to Salzburg was meant to rejuvenate his career. However, he managed just one full 90 minutes at Salzburg, and the loan came to a premature end, allowing him to join Las Palmas. And since returning to Spain, Bajcetic has thrived with only a small number of players having made more tackles, blocks, interceptions or aerial wins than him per 90 minutes in La Liga. As a result, Bajcetic has been likened to 3-time Champions League winner Busquets. He reminds me of Sergio Busquets because of how he drives the ball and how he moves around the field, Spanish journalist Manuel Garcia told the Daily Mail. It is not the first time Bajcetic has been compared to Busquets, with former Celta Vigo Academy director Alex Otero telling the Liverpool Echo back in 2023, "He reminds me of Sergio Busquets, the best Busquets of many years ago. He would only play in the midfield and the other players attacked. But Stefan has other qualities different to Busquets. He likes to advance into the opposition box and support attacks. Stefan can play number 8, not just number 6. I say Busquets because he was one of the best midfielders in the national team with Spain, but Stefan has a different future to Busquets. At the top level, I'm sure. For me, Stefan is a player that is better suited to the Premier League than La Liga. In Spain, it's very slow, but the Premier League is very fast-paced, end-to-end, and with a higher intensity that suits Stefan's conditions. His legs are incredible, the capacity he has to turn and explode away from the opponents. His first, second and third touches in small situations too are incredible. It remains to be seen whether Bajcetic will have a role to play at Liverpool next season, but Reds boss Arne Slot is a big fan of the youngster. I hope it will be a big year for him, because he's a very talented player, Slot said in August. I think he could become a very important player for us, but only if he gets playing time now. If you are that young and you've been out for so long, the only thing you need is playing time. He could have playing time over here, but we've got 6 or 7 very good midfielders, so his playing time here will always be more limited. This club has been smart, in my opinion, in the past for not only looking for the short term but also the long term. It's a smart decision, at least in our opinion, to let him go somewhere where he will hopefully play a lot of games. Then for next season we'll have a player. If he fulfills his potential, he could definitely play for us in the future.